It is going to be longer lasting results with regards to this, and it's going to be a lot more of that naturalness because it's not a filler that pulls water in and plumps you automatically. Renuva is one of those out there that you can now utilize to restore volume back into your face, your hands, your neck, any body parts. And it is an adipose allograft that's processed, preserved extracellular matrix. So it contains the collagens, the proteins, the growth factors, the you could say the chemical markers to send out signaling to help the body say, oh, this is an environment for you fat cells to grow in it. And so that will start in that matrix. If you think of it like a honeycomb, they took out all the honey, which is the fat, and left the honeycomb structure. And by leaving the honeycomb structure, it recruits more honey, more fat back into it to fill up the honeycomb. And so it serves as a framework. It's a support of the cellular repopularization and vascularization of that injection site where the Renuva is being placed.
Yeah, and you can put Renuva anywhere fat is or was. So what we have to think of is when we're injecting, we have to know our plane of tissue, because if we put this into an interfascial layer, it won't grow. It has to be in a layer where there is or was fat. So that's why we need to know our layers. One other thing about fat transfers is, I love your analogy of the desert. I'm thinking while you're saying that, it's like my honeycomb analogy. I just like that makes sense to me visually. We're the analogy people. Yeah, you got all these people in the desert. Say you do a fat transfer, you pull it out of the stomach and you throw it in the face. Yeah, you got all these people in the desert, and the outside ones get water, but the inside ones die because they can't get the water. What happens is you get fat necrosis in the center of where the fat was injected. And that can happen, and it's fairly common. And that's why it shrinks down so much, because fat has to grow its own circulation. It's live tissue that you're putting back in, and it has to grow its own circulation. Sometimes maybe only the outside part can get the neovascularization attached to it, and the inside part dies. And that's why maybe 50% of fat transfer survives. On the flip side, with Renuva, with something like this, we are controlling the slow growth and the slow neovascularization all along the way. So everything survives. So it's not a one and done. It is something that we continue to layer and continue to let grow in the person's person's face or body. But butts good too.
Butts are good. Just expect to spend. Expect to spend. I mean, I wish it was a lot cheaper. I mean, I would totally do a lot more of it. It was cheaper because it is a slow grow. I mean, I would probably say it's slower growing than even sometimes your sculpture hyperdilutes a little bit.
I think it's very comparable. The company says you get 50% back in growth of what you put in, which means if you inject 3 cc's, you get a cc and a half of fat growth. I don't see that. I see 20 to 30%. So I don't see a 50% growth,
and that's the hard part because it has to do with deeper tissue planes to give projection. It's kind of like putting 2 cc's into the boobs. Like,
where to
I
go?
put less than 8 cups into you. You're not gonna. And you know they do spend a lot, and that's the only downfall of this is the expense of it. If it can come down in price, I would probably be shooting all my patients up with this because it's much more natural than a filler.
I use it more mainly because people are getting that filler fear.
Fatigue.
They're getting that filler fear, which there shouldn't be any filler fear.
No, they shouldn't.
You know, we just have to educate our patients. Social media has just kind of been wackadoo. But I do it a lot in my patients who want to stay very natural. I have people who were like, no, I don't want filler. I want something that's natural. And I will do Renuva and my biostimulants in them, Hyperdilute Radius or Sculptra. I'll do both. I'll do my Renuva to replace fat pads and my biostimulants to help with that dermal thickening and skin glow. So you can use both.
Yeah.